2, 1. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? My name is Paul Anthony. I go by Paul on Jog on the socials. And you're here with me on The Boring Things. Sorry, The Boring Stuff with Paul Anthony. And this is my very first episode. And what I wanted to do is focus on local figures in our community here in Austin, Texas. And so today, very pleased to announce my first guests, Jahari and Johnny of Iron Lion Holistic Healing and Fitness.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
We out here.
Thank y'all so much for coming. First off, a little backstory on Jahari and Johnny. We've all known each other since high school, and so throughout all of that time, we're now up in age now, and we've all taken different strides in our life up to this point and gone many different paths. What I think is cool about Jahari and Johnny is that they actually took a chance to go entrepreneurial. And so, you know, they're in the friend group that they took their business up, and we're watching them do their business. And I think it's important that we talk about that because a lot of us have friends that are entrepreneurs and we just need to support each other. So without further ado, I'll get started. Thank y'all so much again. I can't express that enough. But for the people watching who don't know y'all, just tell us a little bit about where y'all are from.
Well,
Go ahead, Jahari.
Austin natives, born and raised in Austin, Texas, Northeast to be exact, Colony Park, and then ended up going to Del Valley for high school and junior high. So I would say that's the beginnings of where I'm coming from. And within all of that, I had a lot of different life experiences that kind of pushed me into this direction mentally with going into healing, athletics, focusing on health, and knowing that that's a big need in the community. Because, coming from where I come from, there was a lot of, almost every elder that I knew had high blood pressure, diabetes, was getting amputations. To me, I thought when I was younger, once you hit 50, really bad things started to happen, and it wasn't until I got older that I realized that was not true and not normal, not okay. Things that our community just kind of accepts and we just kind of live with, and not until you go and travel and you move around, you see the world, you see other states, how other different cultures are living. And so I guess starting all the way back in the beginning, that was like a big influence on me, as well as being West Indian and having a strong Caribbean culture where, a lot of plant medicines, and we can explain our plates of food, this does this, this does that.
Yes.
Growing up with that, got pretty much led me to this point with Johnny.
Yeah, man. Like you said, Austin native. I'm actually from down the street, man, not too far from here on the east side. I just thankful to be from this city, especially grew up with the individuals I grew up out in Del Valley, especially. Golly, where it started, it's kind of crazy because we always kind of been like, in this field of thought or in this lifestyle, kind of gravitated towards it, but it always, it always was something that thankfully me and my brother here used to have deep conversations about. From that to what is growing now, man, it's just crazy. It's really crazy, but it's a blessing too. It's something I'm definitely still got a lot to learn, but yeah, man, it's been fun. It's been fun to say the least, yeah.
Would you say that now that y'all have actually been out doing it yourselves and out there on your feet doing the work up to this point, when you're saying, it's crazy when you were looking at it years ago before you actually, put that work in. So coming now, when you do take a moment to look back when you're not busy, how proud are you of yourselves for making it through the thought conception and then actually getting it on paper and getting it on product and putting the gloves on? How is that feeling up to this point in like a retrospective?
I would say, I'm very proud of what we've done so far, because not only did we start from scratch, we started with I would say probably a lot less knowledge than the average person that probably jumps into starting a business. We knew what we were passionate about, and we immediately were like, hey, we can do this. And we knew where we wanted to start. You know, we really went heavy into, you know, herbs and sea moss, and, you know, like Johnny said, we were listening to a bunch of deep lectures, and we're watching elders who really established themselves in the conscious community and watched them develop followings. But I guess one of the coolest things to realize is that you can actually develop a lifestyle and support yourself with a field like this that's so holistic and creative and not normal and not, you know, standard westernized, you know, I'm in this career to make money. But, you know, we've met other people along the way on the process, you know, seeing people more successful than us, seeing people, you know, providing resources to other people, like who we went to study with in North Carolina, Dr. Alim Bey. He's someone pretty much doing the exact same thing we're doing, but he's just older. And watching him be successful, and so it's like, we're like, okay, we can do this. And now we're here today from just a conversation and making a bunch of overseas phone calls, talking to people in different countries, sourcing products, and, you know, going through taxes and all the legal stuff with the state. You know, we had to figure that out in real time. So it's proud to be, because we almost weren't sitting here right now talking about us having a business. You know?
Yes.
And to be honest, the feeling is almost still dreamlike in the sense that we were in a whole nother state, mind state, and you know what was going on too. You know, everybody has their life struggles. Everybody has their things at home they got to take care of first, prioritize and whatnot. But to be able to still, especially with a good friend of mine, brother here, to be able to still stay focused and take our passionate conversations and things that we have really, really discussed about deeply about, you know, a bit further, man, it's beyond proud, you know what I mean? Beyond proud. You know, it's not probably where we want to be, but we definitely on our way, you know? And it's like a flame that's lit that can't go out, you know what I mean? No matter what. It might get a little low, a little dim, but it's something that it's always going to, you know, be burning now for us. I feel like, you know, it's very, very, very great feeling, man. Yeah.
So now when you talk about those moments of where it was tough, where you it was hard to see past the obstacle that you were facing, what'd you learn about yourself going through that you could look back on now and, you know, say that that's something that's helped you grown as not just an entrepreneur, but an individual who's pursuing a passion?
Well,
we warriors, man.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt. We that warrior. I feel like that to just really go out and see, first of all, to yourself if you can do it. You know what I mean? To really prove to yourself and really get out of your comfort zone and really, really put yourself in these environments you're not used to and consistently do the things you need to do, even if you don't want to do or you're tired or whatever. You kind of see another level of yourself. Like, you know, I guess it's similar to maybe people who have kids, you know what I mean? How they level up, put that switch on.
Yes.
I, you know, don't necessarily have any yet, but I would maybe kind of compare the two.
Right.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's something that definitely stuck up, man. Like,
yeah, we're just learning that, you know, pressure is very necessary in life. For me, things that I learned about myself, I guess I could say how I work under my own devices, because I'm somebody who, I don't know if this is a actual diagnosis, but I feel like it's something that I've found to be relevant. And when I speak to other athletes, it's relevant as well. It's like a sort of athletic depression from always being on a team.
Yes.
And like having a coach and having teammates to hold you accountable. And there's so much pressure just to be integral and to have integrity, because if you don't do good, then the person next to you don't do good. If you don't make your running time, then everybody has to run again. I got a coach banging on my door at 4:30 in the morning saying, get up.
Right.
And, you know, when you don't have all that, but you're just as passionate about something, it kind of really shows you how much you're willing to do on your own, under your own free will and accord. And you have to learn, like, oh, this isn't okay. Like, I need to be doing more with my time, or I need to, and just learning how to better hold myself accountable, because when you start a business, it's only going to be as successful as you allow it to be, and however much energy you put into it is what you'll get back out of it. And just learning like how to hold myself accountable and realizing my weak areas and things that I should improve on, with like just staying on top of tasks and not letting things pile up. Because when you have a business, like just the taxes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, things slip your mind. Like there's so many legal documents and paperwork for the state or things that come up on certain dates, and you really, and it's just you and me and Johnny, and so it's like if no one else is gonna correct this, no one else is gonna swoop in all of a sudden and say, no, y'all are doing this wrong.
Right.
Like it's just really on you to figure it out. But also that's the best thing. There's no one looking over our shoulder. You know, it feels nice to have freedom, because I was coming out of a really, I guess, more traditional job as a teacher.
Yes.
With everything structured for you.
Yeah.
And so like
Power to the teachers, man.
big
Man.
difference from being a teacher to being completely freelance.
Yeah.
You know, selling herbs and sea moss, talking about life and spiritualities. Yeah.
Yes, but I think it's more important for us to acknowledge that our ideas matter, and you know, just because somebody else, I mean, saying that, you know, you're selling herbs and, you know, you're not doing the traditional way of the westernized way of, you know, providing or, you know, chasing your success or whatever. I think that's important for us to realize that we could just keep it simple and pursue something you like or that you're passionate about, and as you go along you face those challenges. That way you're able to learn more about yourself. So I think what y'all said really resonates with a lot of us, especially those of us who are taking some of our hobbies and changing those things into something like maybe as tangible as, you know, like having your own prints or being able to sell a product with your own image on it, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just for me to speak as y'all's friend who, you know, I watch y'all do this, you know, it's something that I get to see, that when you're in it for the long haul and you just go by faith and you trust yourself with your own free will, you're able to make anything happen. Mm-hmm. And I know, speaking personally, just getting stuck in your head and letting that be that first obstacle that you refuse to conquer, that can shut down your whole journey. You just, because, you know, you're never gonna stop thinking about it. Mm-hmm. But you can either be content with, you know, relinquishing that day that you made the decision to quit, or you could, you know, be in the present and figuring out the next thing you got to do, or like the next plan. But it's not even just impressive for y'all. It's just more of like, it does something for guys like me or the people around you who see it, because we're like, hey, I could do it too. And it's not like I could do it too, like it's nothing, but it's just more like I could achieve greatness as well within myself. Yeah. So I really like that part of it, especially something that's not like, you're not just trying to make a quick buck or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
No, for sure. Because, you know, we can really get derailed when we're trying to chase our passion and, you know, keep the lights on. That's just the reality. Yeah. But being able to balance that shows a greater dedication, you know. But the next thing I wanted to really get into is just that, you know, y'all have always been really in tune with the holistic side of things and just more on the not anti-Westernization, but just, you know, questioning everything. Like, are you really sure this is healthy for you? Or like, are you really sure you know what's on your plate? Y'all, you know, that's something that's been real big, in that y'all don't, or at least use your heart. You never really, you know, let us kind of like be relaxed and just like accepting things. You like question it. Yeah. It kind of makes me think of a song I heard yesterday on 88.7 KZI.
Hey, shout out to the locals.
Yes, locals. Yes, it was the reggae show, and there was a song. Hey. It was Are You Really Sure? I forget who sang it, but he was just asking you to question everything, like question yourself, question what you're even saying, what you're doing. What was it like when did you ever have, well, not did you ever have, but those moments of are you really sure, when you're talking to yourself alone? What was that like? Or not even what was it like, and how often are those conversations with yourself?
Probably every day. Every day on the code, like, to really be honest, I talk to myself every day, and I just, you know, also got to keep the balance when it comes to being in my head and being in my heart. You know what I mean? There definitely is a balance and a discipline that I've adapted especially as I got older. And I know it could get definitely rough. It could definitely get down. You could have your low moments. You could doubt yourself. You know, those thoughts creep in for sure. You know, I do my best not to feed those anymore. You know, I kind of just let them pass through and don't really give in to that belief or to that thought as much as I used to. You know what I mean? To be honest, I anything that is not gonna empower me, you know, or you know, be in my favor, I really don't try to stick around too much, especially on the internal sense. Yeah, them thoughts still come around, and yeah, sometimes the environment around me may, you know, try to plant seeds or, you know, show symbols of this. But to be honest, it's been a good balance, you know what I mean, to still have that faith and to still have that discipline even when you are low, to, you know, believe in, you know, whatever you want to call it, the Most High, Jah within, or, you know, source, just to keep that in mind regardless of all that, because they got your back, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what helps me for sure.
For me, what kind of pushed me into the decision to even move into a more entrepreneurial lifestyle was more like radical from my perspective. So I don't necessarily think I ever doubt that I'm doing the right thing. I just sometimes, probably if I do doubt, it probably comes in the area of um, am I doing enough, or what can I be doing to guarantee that the decision I made, you know, plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing we were talking about, I guess earlier, people, you know, making a decision to move into an entrepreneurial space. One thing for me personally, I was a teacher for almost 8 years before we started the business, and even there as a teacher, all the kids would come up to my desk, and they would be like either crying or emotional, and they would say, "Mister, I just want to talk today." And I was pretty much, they were using me as a counselor or therapist in a teacher position, or like even my friends or my social life, my family from growing, everybody always has identified me as somebody who they want to talk to,
Yeah.
or they like to talk to. So I kind of just listened to that eventually, because my life was real stressful.
Yes.
And I think it's important for people to like pay attention to what, you know, organically is told to you, especially through other people's mouths, because a lot of the times people will tell you what you are.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you're really listening and paying attention. So when the time came up and everything was really intense and extreme, I had to leave my job, and I kind of knew that I needed to go in the direction that organically was supporting me this entire time. You know, because it was my relationships and my, you know, different things like that in the holistic space. So I was like, okay, I need to do something, but I can't keep doing this, and I'm in this unique life situation. So after making that decision and leaving my job and doing those types of things, it was like, all right, you know, the doubt comes in. It's like, okay, what do I need to do? And like, am I using my time properly? And, you know, like, because you have to like stand on decisions you make like that.
Yes.
And
100%.
to start something like that, especially with like a holistic purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and then not follow through with it, or like, because we're helping people right now. I can genuinely say that, and like we've touched people in their lives, and we've been able to be available for people since making this business decision and provide plant med. Now we can't just disappear.
You got people
so,
relying on you. Community, right?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, keeping that, I guess, energy up and not getting too down and worried about the wrong things, and just focusing on the fact that, you know, the energy of the divine has told you through other people and, you know, your relationships and experiences that, you know, you're supposed to be doing this anyway.
Yeah,
most
that's heavy. And reason I identify yet again is just more because I have that clarity whenever I'm working, whenever I'm doing whatever it is, whether I'm talking with students at my job, or if I'm helping people at my part-time job, or if I'm even just out in the public. A lot of times, more recently, is just more like if I'm having a bad day, people are able to really somehow those people just are sent to you, and they say that thing that just you have a moment to either you have a chance to make a decision yourself whether you want to accept that and let it fill you, let them fill your cup, or you can reject it. And I come from the side of rejecting that, right? And just or at least trying to. But
Yeah.
as of late, when you let someone else pour into you, and especially a stranger who's meaning well, it can really make you 360, especially if you're in like a low place. Is how it's been for me. And so, and even just on the level of someone giving support, when I talk to y'all about the things that I want to do, and just having that energy transfer of like, hey, this is this is the energy I had when I was pursuing my thing. Let me pour that into you, and vice versa. I might not be doing my own business, but we all have things that we can help each other with and lean on each other for. I think that's really the bigger thing that's happening in the community space is just like all of the friends that are like us. We all have our groups in the community, and then we can all be there for each other in the bigger spectrum. I don't know if that sounded too like out there.
No, you good.
You just
But-
can't help but have a community,
Yeah.
especially when like-minded individuals like ourselves come together and we really want to share some things or figure some things out, or we're like, it just can't leave us alone inside. It's something we really got to get to, something we really got to go to when it comes to certain people. I think we always need to have that versatility, especially of thinkers and deep thinkers and healers and teachers, and we can all learn from each other for sure. And when we've been doing this, we noticed that we have kind of started a brotherhood or community or some, you know what I mean? There was, of course, I was there with the elders and whatnot, but our flavor is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Especially these last few events we've been to, it's been that sense, of people just wanting to gravitate towards you. You know what I mean? Because we really helping. We really. He keeps reminding me too to be mindful of that, and yeah, it's something we shouldn't take for granted for sure. Like it's important to help each other when we can.
Yeah.
For sure. Like. Even if it's just a simple conversation like this, man, like it definitely it helps us too. Like while we talk, we also, learn and listen as well. Like it's like some channels through us sometimes, almost like we don't. Like I think we were talking a while back about like how sometimes things just intuitively flow through you. You don't
Yeah.
feel like it's you, but it's you, and then you kind of like, damn, okay, like maybe.
Yeah.
There's some more to this than I, been thinking of,
Mhm.
just trusting that, man. It's
Yeah, I for one can say that when I have my moments where things seem really clear, I kind of jump back. I'm like, oh shoot, I see. It feels it feels like on Rick and Morty when he looked into the all-seeing turtle's eye or whatever that alien was who had all the knowledge, the toad, right, or whatever it was. It had all the knowledge. And Rick was like, don't look into his eyes. You're gonna learn all the knowledge of the universe.
yeah,
It feels like that in like seconds when sometimes like when I'm just kind of like stuck in my head, I'm like, whoa. But then like I'll have that moment where through the clouds I have that clarity that comes through where it's like someone's trying to connect with you, or you just had a moment where you just break down a situation and you kind of just see the relevance maybe. I don't know, from whether it's a cat walking up to you or like somebody seeing that you're having a shit day and they just say, hey man, give you a compliment like nice shoes, or hey, what weather, make you laugh, something, anything.
right. Acts of kindness go a
Yeah.
long way.
Yeah.
Small acts like that go a long way.
That's part of the community too. Like I know, like we were talking about paying attention to patterns that you get from other people to tell you who you are or what's going on. Like something that happens to me every time I'm having a bad day, no matter what, it never fails. Like it's automatic. If I'm having a really bad day and I'm like legitimately down, like you crying alone in the car type stuff. You don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
For real.
like
Yes, sir.
somebody will always compliment my hair. And I noticed that after years, and I was like, every time I'm in this mind state, somebody out of nowhere, a complete stranger, it'll be at the gas station, the store, the mall, off the street, a homeless person, they will walk up to me and make it a point to single out and say, hey, I like your hair. But to me, I learned that was like a social, like energetic message that comes through a pattern. And it's like, oh, this is higher information being channeled through people who may not even realize they're being used as a vessel to uplift, and them just allowing their intuition. Because when you get that thought, for the other person who's complimenting me, it's just they don't know me. They could have easily said, "Why would I say that to him?"
Yes.
But they decided to like listen and like say it out loud, not knowing that meant a lot to me. They don't know what I'm going through that day.
Yes.
But that just being open and like paying attention to those little things that happen, like that's something that's significant. And you could choose not to pay attention to that, but it makes me better every time I hear it. Like immediately my day starts to turn.
Man, 100%. That's what I was talking about earlier. Just anytime I know that it's a bad day. These days it don't even last long. Like the moment like I could try to stay inside and someone's gonna find their way to connect with me, whether it's family or anything, and I'll get that one compliment where it'll just send me over the moon. Like your eyelashes look wonderful, sir. I'm like. So that I think when we need things like that and we have people who are going to give that to us, having a community makes it easier to be accessible because we all feel comfortable with like exchanging energy, and then the community will grow because we're going to see somebody having a bad day who may not know that there's a community of us who can see that and want to help. And I think it has to start and continue to where you're not thinking of community, but you're just going on that intuition from wherever you're guided to, make that compliment or hold that door open or leave that tip, whatever it is. And, wrapping this up though, when we talk about community entrepreneurship and like hardships, when you're going through, whether it's life or I don't want to say professional, but just on the journey side of pursuing a passion, up until this point, do you see yourselves locking into new projects, or you're still, drilling down to get this first section done, and then, we'll worry about the next phase at the next phase?
Well, I think we took the whole first phase of our business was kind of figuring out what exactly we want to offer. And I think mind, body, and spirit is a very broad, area of subject matter, and there's a lot of things that go into it. And I think probably, within the past couple of years, we really kind of figured out what we do as a company. We're not, adding too many different categories now. We kind of have like the categories of mind, body, and spirit that we are comfortable with working with people in. Of course, like we could learn something new tomorrow, and, we always continue in our education, but we're trying to just expand what we already are good at. Like we have our retreats that we're introducing that kind of takes just the holistic healing and the herbs and the food and the different things like that just to the highest level, because we can bring people into an environment where those things are maximized, with our retreats. Just kind of staying in our wheelhouse and, events, any festivals or, markets, ways that we can mingle and get out and let people know we exist. We're sourcing plant medicines, providing energy work, and, we're making good food for people, fitness training.
Man, I could attest to the food. If y'all were at that house party 2 years ago at my other apartment, hey, the ghetto, what was it? The ghetto rave series.
Oh, the one you did.
Yeah, man. Had y'all fed out there. Asking for more, man. We gotta do that again. We gotta run that back sometime.
Yeah. you did your thing too down there, man.
Well,
sure.
I wanted people to see y'all, and I wanted y'all to see these people, because within that mix, man, so much good came out of that, and it wasn't even just like, oh, we're partying together. It actually. It was cool after. Like we all had a little closeness, especially before I kicked everybody out. Yeah. But no, I think it's really, really fortunate for me to have people like you two in my life, and shout out my little brother for that, for just having us, having us all networking, getting the mix together from the basketball days to, us all chilling in the den,
Yeah. Shout out.
Still got that going. Yeah, man. Rogueland Podcast. But
hey, check it out.
Yeah, but
third of the Astro Boys.
We coming back.
Astro Boys is coming back. Y'all stay tuned for that.
That's right.
So Jahari, Johnny, how can people who are watching or who are interested tap in with Iron Lion as far as on the social media side? or where the next event we can find you guys at.
Yeah, December 11th, we have an event at the Greater Mansion on 6th Street. That'll be Wednesday, and doors open at 7. We'll be cooking and selling our products in the kitchen. That'll be a really nice one. It's a art exhibition and as well as a guitar auction. And there will be some of Austin's leading musicians as well as artists there present. You know, it'll be in a 3-story mansion setup. There'll be healers all around everything, and so it'll be a good spot to come and check out a good diverse crowd and learn some things, really good networking.
Yes, I'll be there. I'll be there for sure.
Oh yeah.
You got anything else to add, Johnny?
Nah, yeah, come check us out. If y'all can support, you know, it's definitely always appreciated. You know, y'all's feedback is important to us. So, of course, if y'all have the time, you know, definitely come check us out. We would definitely love to have y'all, man. We've been getting so much pretty cool faces, man, throwing us some love. I just want to get a love back to y'all, man. All y'all, for real. Y'all been definitely keeping us afloat, keeping us fueled and ready and to provide this healing, you know. So appreciate y'all for real.
Yes.
And be sure to check out our website, www.ironlionfitnessandhealing.com. And, you know, follow us on Instagram. I'm Tahuti_Hari. That's TEHUTI_HARI. You know, we'll be posting on our social medias as well as my Facebook, Jahari Templin. You know, just my name, and you'll see my picture come up. Johnny's Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, I believe it's JLona91 on Instagram. To be honest, I need to get on there more, but if y'all reach out to me, I will come back to you.
You know, we're on the holistic side. We're crossing over into the tech.
I'm
You know,
in real life.
Yeah, I'm
In real
bad
life.
at the tech side, but
Sorry.
you know, catch me in person. I talk to you all day. You know, I guess I'm old school. My bad.
Nah, but we there though. We're on there. We're posting. We're learning. You know, we got people like Paul and Pierre,
Yes.
you know,
Man,
helping us
for
out.
real.
You know, that's why we have the community. That was the whole point. You know, we don't know everything. We have our specialties in holistic healing, and we are learning.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yes. Ital is vital.
You
Yes,
know what
sir.
I'm saying?
Yes,
sir.
Yes, Jah Rastafari at one time.
I want to give a real special shout out to DAWA Studios for letting us be here and for supporting artists like myself and other artists who use the studio.
Yes.
And just make sure you guys check out their website, and you can check them out on Instagram at DAWA Hills, and that's the @ not the ampersand. I forgot what it's called, but at DAWA Hills. And, you know, tell a friend to, you know, get inspired and get applying. The information's out there. Y'all remember community is important. My name is Paul Anthony. I'm on Paul on Jog at all my socials. Website coming soon. This is episode 1 of The Born Stuff with Paul Anthony. Thank y'all so much.
Yes.
Peace.
Much love, brother.
Much love. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Love, peace, y'all.